TPC, this here is a VR for Big John Lofland and his 600 sub GAW. I just like to say congratulations, brother, and I just like to say also what you got for your giveaway is awesome, and I like to say out there to every single body out there that's participating, good luck, and may everybody have fun. Well, seeing how me growing up, my circumstances was I didn't really have much of a father figure in my life, but I made a friend growing up who was a very older gentleman, old enough to have been in the Vietnam War, and he was, as well as involved in the Cuban crisis, and he kind of grown to be a bit of a father figure in my life. And although he was a Cubs fan and everything, me and him never really watched sports or anything together. But he would always say a bunch of old sayings that were either funny as all get out, or they sounded odd and funny, but had one hell of a impacting meaning. And there really ain't just one old saying that I've heard him say to me before. You know, it's like a multiple things, and so I'll just say a few of them that he had said to me prior, and I guess you can let me know which one you like the best. But anyways, here it goes. First old saying was, "You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink it." I'm sure everybody and their brother have heard that one. Another one is he'd be like, he'd look at me and he'd say, "Rob, sometimes you gotta pick up that phone and say, 'Hello, Houston, give 'em hell.'" I always thought that one was kind of funny. And then he would always tell me, and I'm sure everybody's heard this one, you know, I'm sure this is probably older than dirt, probably, or close to it, or was at least probably around during the time of Moses. I ain't too for sure. But anyways, he'd also look at me and he'd say, "Rob," he said, "you're known by the company you keep." And he said, if you keep running around with certain people, he said, they're going to tag you as being that type of person. And he said, and I don't think you want to wear that brand. And he said, so don't go being branded by the company you keep. And he said, and others won't look down on you. And that one really hit close to home. You know, I thought that one was really heartfelt. And then one thing that he looked at me, and he was an old retired, well, I wouldn't say retired sailor, but he up and was in the Navy, and he was in a part of the Navy that back then they called them frogmen or underwater demolition, but today they call them Navy SEALs. And you know, to hear this saying coming from a guy that had told me some very graphical stuff that they don't teach you in school about the Vietnam War, or aka a police thing, to hear him look at me and say this with knowing what I know that he had went through from what he told me in his experiences, for him to tell me this really made me have a better outlook on life during a dark time. He would look at me and he'd say, "Rob, no matter how hard your life is going to be, no matter what type of situation you're going through, no matter how hard it is to keep going through," he said, "you have got to remember this one important simple thing." And I mean, he got serious with it. He's like, "You got to remember this one important simple thing, and that's this: it can't eat you." And that right there, man, you know, made me laugh a little bit. And every now and then when I see other people have